As much as I enjoyed Agatha Harkness in WandaVision, I wasn't really sure if the character warranted her own spin-off series. That, plus the track record of the Disney Plus series across Marvel and Star Wars, meant that expectations for Agatha All Along were kind of non-existent. But surprisingly, it ended up being a pretty damn good show. The biggest surprise of Agatha All Along was that the show really humanized the character of Agatha Harkness, because again, in WandaVision, she was the cackling witch villain at the end. But in this series, they really delve into her character, her backstory, and I was really surprised at how much I cared about the character by the end of the series. Throughout the show, they keep referencing her son Nicholas, and clearly some really dark stuff happened. There's rumours that she gave him up for the Book of the Damned and all that stuff, but you find out at the end that there was a deal made with death, and she got to spend 6 years with her son, and death came in the middle of the night, took her son away. And I was actually kind of on the verge of choking up in that last episode, seeing her, bond with her son, knowing deep down she's got a very limited time with her son. And it was some touching stuff. Also learning the whole Ballad of the Witch's Road was actually a con invented by Agatha based on a song that she sang with her son, just to lure witches together so she could then take all their power. The ballad, the glory that awaits her at the end, all the legends of the Witch's Road, turns out it was Agatha all along. And that was just a really good, chef's kiss, wrapped bow kind of way to just bring it all together. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the journey down the Witch's Road with Agatha, her coven teen, and I liked how they structured each episode pretty much around each individual trial. The whole trials and tribulations along the journey thing kind of gave it a bit of a Goonies and a dark Wizard of Oz kind of vibe, which makes sense given the twist at the end of the show, which I'll get to in a second. And it was really neat seeing each member of the coven step up and prove themselves in their respective witchcraft with each individual trial. And episode 7, Lilia's episode, was really, really damn good. One of the better episodes of the entire show. I also really enjoyed the horror witchcraft elements this show introduces. It really expands the supernatural side of the MCU, which I've wanted to see a lot more of since the first Doctor Strange, more about spells and witchcraft. And this show really delivered on that front. I think the Salem 7 were a little bit wasted, because at the beginning, when they're chasing the coven and it's all really creepy and dark and they're all twisting and contorting, that was some pretty freaky stuff, and it was straight up horror imagery like we've never seen in the MCU before. And just, again, the whole vibe of the witchcraft, the supernatural, the spells, the incantations, it was just really cool to see and experience that in an MCU thing. And the other big talking point of this show was the introduction, or technically reintroduction, of Billy Maximoff, Wanda Maximoff's son. There's the revelation that when Wanda brought down the Hex in WandaVision, Billy's soul transferred to the body of William Kaplan, who just died in a car crash, and he's now walking about as the reincarnated Billy Maximoff, which I think was kind of spoiled for me before the show, because it was heavy speculation that Joe Locke was playing Billy Maximoff reincarnated, and I think his Funko Pop called him Billy, so when they revealed that, it wasn't really a surprise, so that was kind of a bummer. But it was still cool though. Quick side note, I really enjoyed how this show kind of recontextualized the events of WandaVision with bringing back the Ralph Bonner character in that episode, which I never thought that character coming back would ever be referenced in a positive way, but I liked how he's really messed up by it, and he's having trouble sleeping, he has nightmares, and everyone's lives were taken over by Wanda. It really just portrays it in a much different light, because in WandaVision it was the jolly sitcom with the dark undertones. So I really enjoyed that kind of new view on the events of WandaVision in a much more messed up kind of horror context. So yeah, Billy Maximoff has been reincarnated into a new body, and I really enjoyed the twist at the end where it turns out the whole Witch's Road was conjured by him, which I did not expect. That really caught me off guard. And you see all the visual cues in his bedroom, and you see the Wizard of Oz stuff on his shelf, which me saying the Witch's Road is kind of like a dark Wizard of Oz thing makes complete sense. I was also really surprised that Agatha dies at the end. She lets death take her, she gets put in the ground, and she comes back at the end as a ghost, which I prefer that she comes back as a ghost instead of just doing another fake death cop-out. So Agatha's ghost hanging around with Billy Maximoff whilst they're looking for Tommy, that could be entertaining, depending on whenever they reappear in a future series or whatever. So overall, I really enjoyed Agatha All Along. I think this is one of the better shows that Marvel have done on Disney Plus so far. And Aubrey Plaza as Lady Death, perfect casting. And I'm really craving more of the supernatural side of the MCU, which we're probably not going to get until after Secret Wars. But once Secret Wars and the multiverse stuff is out of the way, give me more witches, give me more wizards, give me more magic, give me more zombies, vampires, just supernatural badassery. I can't wait to see more of it from the Marvel Universe, and Agatha All Along did a really good job just expanding that a little bit more.